What's going on? I wanted to start this channel off a different way than I feel like most people do. I don't particularly enjoy when channels have this all-encompassing intro channel. I don't see the point in making that, so I'm just going to jump right in. The first thing I wanted to do is give a big shout out to my dude Wayne Walker over at Wayne Makes Things and DIY or Die. He is primarily the inspiration to me doing these videos. Basically, my plan here is to create videos that work in tandem with my website and the articles that I produce, on top of also just creating videos that push my video making skills to another level. Part of that is going into right now, where I'm going to show this stuff, because this stuff was fun. I shot these when I took a walk over at Holiday Park. This is a park trail area that's really close to my apartment. I took Emmett there on Saturday. We kind of just ran around all day. The place has some really good shots and some really good areas to shoot some B-roll footage, so I figured I'd just throw that in here. The main thing I want to talk about today is in tandem with what I posted on my blog today, depending on when you watch this. Today's Monday. So I posted an article about things I wish I knew when I was in art school, and I've been out of art school for almost 5 years now, I think, and there's a lot of shit that I wish I would have known when I was in art school that would have made the transition out into real world a lot easier. So read that article and find shit out that you want to know. But the big thing I wanted to talk about in this video was pushing that realm of knowing that it's not selling out to play the game, because that's a huge thing that I think a lot of people don't know when they're first starting off like a freelance business, whether it be art related or not. You do have to play that game. And a lot of people are hesitant to do that, myself included, because it feels like selling out. This is mainly seen on social media, and that's kind of where you're going to get the majority of this game playing, per se, attitude. And the biggest thing to pay attention to when you're trying to build a brand is knowing that you have to just bombard social media with everything that you're doing. It's very hard to build a following and to stay relevant when you are only posting maybe once or twice a week. Look at that light bar. The biggest thing to note when you're posting on social media is that you need to be consistent. This is true if you're making YouTube videos, if you're posting on Instagram, if you're Twitch streaming, if you are posting on Facebook, if you're a blog. You need to have some form of schedule that your audience can rely on. In particular with art, this is kind of hard to do, right? It's hard to make that happen, especially if you're working a full-time job or you have other commitments and responsibilities. So best thing that you can do is set a schedule for yourself of trying to release like 2 fully fleshed out things every week. But in between those days of posting shit, you want to still be posting other things related to your business or your brand or your craft. Keep people interested in what you're doing. The next thing you want to make sure that you're doing is engaging your audience and engaging those other members of this area of expertise. Best way to do this is by just trolling through Instagram, whether it be through the hashtags or through the Discover or Explore feed, whatever it's called, and finding people that have similar interests to you and building relationships with them. I talk about this in the article because this is a very fucking tricky thing to do. You're wanting to make this other person or this audience from this other person to look at your shit without explicitly telling them to look at it, because then you just look like you're shamelessly shilling yourself and nobody really likes that motherfucker because they kind of suck. It's hard to kind of pull that off on Reddit because a lot of the times people aren't receptive to self-promotion. The 9-to-1 rule is what I've played by on Reddit, and a lot of other people play by this 9-to-1 rule, where for every one post you make that is self-promoting or about you, you have to post 9 other things that aren't about you, that are either engaging in a different audience, talking about something else that progresses that audience into the next step, or just something that's beneficial to everybody. Now, some people are thinking, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to post 9 fucking articles in every one that I post. It doesn't have to be that. It just has to be things that engage the audience that don't necessarily benefit you. So, a comment on someone else's post, a link to something that is relevant to that post, anything that is not directly benefiting you, but directly benefiting the mass. That's the 9-to-1 rule. The mail is here. The last real big thing that I want to talk about here for this entire video is just doing what I'm doing here. engaging every fucking avenue that you possibly can. There's so many different social media platforms that you can really just attack as an artist or as a writer or as a musician, and you really need to try to get into all of them. Now, this is hard to do, again, when you don't have a whole day to just spend doing this. So my biggest suggestion is start on one, build yourself up on that. Once you get comfortable in your routine there, branch out into the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, until suddenly you're just in the back of your mind creating 3 different things at the same time, or you're creating things that can be cross-platform. So say you're on Twitch and you're doing an art stream on Twitch. Well, you already have the video content there. So you can just export that into YouTube, and then that entire Twitch stream is a YouTube video for that audience. If you're on Instagram, you can take your Instagram post and just put that on your Facebook page. Cross-platforming is very important in trying to get as many different eyes on you at once. Now, with added exposure comes the need to continue to create content. Now, that is where you just really need to work at it. I am just starting this YouTube, so this is an experiment for me as well, but I've become very good at posting every day on Instagram, or writing an article, or just doing something related to my brand every single day. That's the best advice I can give. Create as often as you can, at least once a day, and make sure that you're just playing this game right, where people know that you're constantly creating. People can rely on you to create content on a consistent basis. So that's about it. Produce as much as you possibly can. Create content every single day. Utilize things like hashtags and user engagement things like commenting on other people's posts, replying to comments on your posts, finding new users that are in that same realm as you, engaging with them. Play the game in social media, and you'll succeed a lot quicker than you would elsewhere, or if you didn't do that. And finally, just be consistent. That's the best advice I can give, is be consistent. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. That's all I really got on this. Read the article in the link down below to read the whole thing and find out all the other shit I had to say. I just felt like this deserved its own thing to talk about. And also, we just hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, so I will be posting a giveaway about having 1,000 followers. I think it's rad. So the giveaway is just going to include an original Reaper, not this one, probably not any. It'll be one of them. I don't know. Free shirt and probably some free prints. I'm going to get out of here. That's all I really got. Hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Keep doing what you're doing and stay fucking evil, my friends. Goodbye.